Hola familia stellar, you did not land here by chance, you have indeed entered into a sacred world line collision. This message is designed to find you. We just got confirmation with that ding. It's designed to find you when you're about to receive something. You've been drawing this in. You're an organism who's been emitting photons. Photon is light, it's information, and I'm also hearing it's a signal that you've been transmitting that's being absorbed, received, and you are now aligning with something in resonance. More importantly, something in resonance is aligning with you. Okay, this is all about a quantum leap that you're currently experiencing, which is a great acceleration of events. I'm going to go ahead and break everything down for you because this is so powerful. We're going to go ahead and explain the quantum realm a little bit today, just so you can understand mentally, okay, what's already going on and what it is that you're feeling and picking up on. But this is huge, okay? So you're an organism who is emitting photons. Or let me find photons. Photon is light, and when you absorb photons, I'm also seeing this as light that you've been absorbing, and I'm seeing it as codes and information and downloads. And they're showing me the Venetian Galactic Council card, which basically talks about it's a call for action. It says that the ideas that you've been having recently are not just ideas, they are divinely inspired, okay, events that have already come to be, but you're in the beginning stages of experiencing right now. And that was another message. Hold on, there's so much. The other message was, oh yeah, there's a reason why you feel so drawn to this thing. And you know how it's proven by scientists that gut feelings are actually memories from your future self. And you're experiencing the becoming of an event that has already come to be, because in the quantum, right, it's the infinite sea of possibilities, each encoded as a wave of possibility in your field, and you're collapsing a very specific creative spark into form. That's what I'm seeing. It's like you're anchoring and grounding it. It's where a concept becomes part of your reality. Now, when you absorb large amounts of photons, which I feel like you've been doing as an organism, right? And this is your intercommunication with source and the higher self. This leads to almost a spontaneous emission that will occur, which is a quantum mechanical process where an atom or a quantum system begins to transition from a lower energy state into a high energy state. Now, this is honestly like a positive electric charge. I feel like you've been changing the way that you're thinking about yourself. You've been changing the way that you're feeling about yourself. You're a bioelectrical being, which means that you're inputting a new charge into the system. And because of this, it's leading to reality recalibrate itself to match your vibrational state. And that's something that you're going to be seeing take place. But absorbing photons can happen even, maybe you've been sun gazing, right? Maybe during sunrise or sunset, but large amounts of photons will actually open up a wormhole for you. So this is a portal of discovery of some kind. Wormhole talks about events collapsing, and it is a journey that may seem like it's far ahead, but what happens is it opens up a portal that leads to a great acceleration of events. So things are about to speed up for you. That's what I'm seeing happen. It can be called as a celestial gateway, it's a time matrix, it's a kinetic velocity generator. It can be called many things, but it basically is a safe passage being provided for you where your galactic brothers and sisters are beckoning for you to come and safely learn more about what awaits you on the other side of this decision, okay? And I'm hearing the decision to take action towards this thing, and it's the action that collapses it through space and time. So that's what I'm seeing. But when you bring a photon, right, with the right amount of energy, it will excite that atom, and it will excite it to the point where it ascends into a higher state. Okay, it begins to oscillate at a higher octave, which is further out from the nucleus. The nucleus is in the center of the cell. And if we talk about proton, this is a positive electrical charge. I'm going to go ahead and read proton because this is what I'm seeing happen at the center core of your being. It feels like this is something that I'm hearing is infused with spirit. It's something that's infused with what, you know, almost excites you, right? What it is that I'm hearing kind of gives you purpose when you wake up in the morning. It's something that I'm hearing also grounds you because it's a lot to do with your intention and what it is that you intended to experience in this lifetime. So the fundamental of a nucleus. Proton is going directly from the small to the large with total positivity. And there's almost a different kind of confidence that you're embodying. And this is where you become your higher self in physical form, and you begin to become the physical embodiment of your higher self, because there is this knowing that you have, right? In the core of your being, okay? On a cellular level, there is this remembrance that this is readily available for you to experience. So I'm hearing it eases off the pressure of what happens between point A and point B, because there is so much magic to unfold in between for you, and the unknown is something that should excite you, not scare you, right? So anyway, it talks about a positive electrical charge, which forms the fundamental part of all atoms. So it's like you're going from a lower state into a higher state, and when that happens, you don't actually see the transition. This is about you disappearing and then reappearing unrecognizable. And it's really about a glow up that's happening. It's a glow up that's happened internally within you, right? What is a glow up? It's where you begin to ascend, right? It's where you begin to ascend to higher ways of thinking, higher ways of feeling, and therefore you begin to embody a higher existence, and reality mirrors and reflects that, because it's as within, so without, right? That vibrational state of being begins to project externally into this energetic simulation in which you're engaging in. So it's not a continuous of, oh, I'm going to go up there now, right? It's no, this is actually you disappearing and then reappearing, okay? And the wormhole talks about a shortcut of events. So this is a time dilation bubble that you're being provided. So it's not going to seem like it's happening that fast for you, because I feel like this is an internal process that you've been going through for a while, maybe something that you haven't been announcing. The embodiment and the results are going to speak for themselves. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. To the outside world, when you move through a time dilation bubble and you move through a wormhole, it appears like you've just teleported. It appears like something in your life has happened out of the blue, and that's what we call the quantum leap, right? But there is like this gap, there is this unknown and this mystery where I feel like there is events that are unfolding in your life and just truths that are surfacing within you. I'm hearing during this time that is actually a mystery, where you've become a mystery even to yourself, you know? So it's a jump, right? It's a quantum leap, and the jumping act is discrete. It's more, again, it's not a continuous, oh, this is something that someone's witnessing. This is something that happens in appearance overnight, you know? That's what I'm seeing. People are like, well, where did the electron go, right? Where did Bob, Jenny, Ashley, Cindy go, you know? Like, where did you go? And, you know, it's another electron within the quantum field. So essentially in the quantum field, that's where the electron goes, right? That's where you're going. You're surfing through the myriad selection of timelines that are readily available for you to experience, and you're just deciding which one you want to align yourself with. But this is all happening internally. So it goes out into the quantum field, it disappears, and then it reappears in a new state. So there is a mystery that's unfolding in your life. And with magnetic field, this is just things that you're drawing in through resonance, right? There is a gap period. There is definitely empty space that you're being provided, and the emptiness is where the magic lies. You know, it definitely reminds you of the is it entropy card? It kind of is an entropy, where entropy talks about, let me go ahead and read it. Entropy talks about, okay, loss of system and order. No, it's another message. It's not entropy, it's the distance between two events. Let me see if I can find it. What is it called? It's not entropy. Entropy talks about loss of system and order, but that could be significant. It talks about changing the layout, and it's almost like there's a layout that's happened within you, okay? And it also talks about, entropy indicates the level of molecular uncertainty of a system, but it's to do with the amount of energy which is lost due to being unavailable to do work. So it talks about a disorder, but there's almost a secret order that's happening in your life. So it's almost like everything is falling apart before it must fall into place. But there is something around you sitting in that silence right now, and it's going to lead to a huge shift that happens for you. There is a gap of infinite possibility that you're being shown during this time. And I think there was also another message that, so it's like you can imagine the atom, which is you, almost as like this tiny solar system of light. And then the nucleus of you, right? The nucleus stores the DNA, right, in the center of the cell, and the DNA stores memory. So within you is the memory that there is, an electron that's kind of dancing your orbit and this new pattern of energy, and this photon that you're receiving, right? This photon that's arriving. So it's an idea, it's a download of some kind, it's information of what already exists for you, is carrying the right frequency. And it's almost like whispering a secret that awakens the electron. And I'm just seeing whatever is orbiting you becomes excited because it's you're returning to some kind of knowing. It becomes excited because there is this elevation that's happened. I'm not sure what it is, but it just feels like there's something that's kind of widening your perspective. It reminds you of when you go from, oh my god, the world is so big, to, oh my gosh, the world is so big and it's my oyster. So this feels like a paradigm shift of some kind that's happened. But yeah, it vanishes from one orbit and then it instantaneously materializes in another, almost like it's stepped through an invisible door between realities. And I just feel like this is what's gonna appear like it's happening from the outside realm, right? So this is beautiful. The distance between two of, you have cell, but let me try and find it because I think this is going to be significant for you. Hold on. You have a nominee constellation. I recognize it when I see it. What came out? Binary star. Binary star talks about this has always been transversing your path. Okay, it talks about it seems like it's far away, but in reality, it's always been transversing your path. We have 111 on the microwave right now, which talks about your destiny. So we'll go ahead and find the 111 card actually. I know that you guys believe me anyway, but I just last time I did this with 333 and I didn't get it on time. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's only coming up with 11 on the clock. So there could just be something around you're seeing something that not everyone can. Now it's just coming up as 1-1, like one, just number one. But one is all about new beginnings. One is also a masculine energy. So it's about something shifting. Okay, 1111 talks about intuition. Trust in yourself. Your inner whisper is working hard to let you know that it's guiding you. Listen in. What is it saying? Feel it. Where is it telling you to go next? See it. Close your eyes and allow. Trust the path that you are on. The affirmation is, my intuition speaks to me and I listen. I trust all things are happening for a purpose. So there is something around your intuition speaking to you. And again, what did we talk about? Those gut feelings, right? Those intuitive insights you're receiving is a memory from your future self. And then 111 talks about destiny. Destiny says, follow what you feel. Listen as your intuition helps to guide you to what you are manifesting. The inner whispers are helping you to create all it is that you desire. Listen and lean in to follow your soul. Life is always happening for me. I am allowing myself to lean into what feels good. So there's something around you leaning into what feels good during this time that leads to major expansion in your life. Oh, I'm trying to find it. But yeah, it's the distance. It basically talks about, you know what? It's okay. We'll just leave it. It's okay. I'm sure. Oh, parsec. That was it. Okay. So there could be something as when you're literally about to release something. That's when it comes in, right? That's when it materializes. I'll go ahead and read parsec. Parsec talks about the distance. PPP. Let me see. And then we're going to do a reading on this for sure. But this is important for you to understand because it's about the signal that you're sending out, consciously and unconsciously, most importantly, unconsciously. Parsec, where's P? Okay, here we go. Parsec is the distance, right? It talks about between one object and another, one place and another, one being and another. The distance creates a pause and the necessary air to be in the field from another place. Again, it's like you're in the quantum field, moving space, listening to silence, touching nothingness, and looking at the void. Tasting the new and perceiving the aroma of calm and meditating will be key senses to bring in clarity. So I'm just seeing this as you're already getting a sweet taste of what is to come, and this is your consciousness extending far beyond the anatomical body, surfing through the infinite fractals of yourself that exist in the multiverse, with every possible outcome existing simultaneously. And it's like you're placing yourself in frames vibrationally. You know, this is what I'm seeing. It's almost like you can place yourself in a frame where you're at the office, that's still playing out simultaneously, along with the version of yourself that's sitting at the beach, along with the version of yourself that is getting a pet, right? Maybe a new dog, or the version of yourself that's just won the lottery. It's like there is some kind of jackpot that you're hitting here. That's what I'm seeing it as. But there's something that you're surfing, right? It's like you're stepping into that frame before the arrival in the physical. And this is this thing that's arriving to you, because you don't collapse into a reality. A reality collapses around you to mirror the frequency in which you're tuning into. You're tuning into different outcomes right now, different destined points that you're gaining a glimpse into, right? Your imagination is a preview of life's upcomings, and reality is a tuning to you. You know, that's what I'm seeing, and it's shaping around you. That's how it's recalibrating and reconfiguring itself to correspond with where it is that you're internally in resonance with. Okay. That's what I'm seeing. So Parsec talks about a pause for a new flow. Empty the mind of noises, images, and movement which do not help, and begin to create a blank space. With distance, we can appreciate this place to fill later with new apparitions which are not taking place as they are unable to open space. So this is a pause for a new flow with Parsec. And this is exactly what the quantum is, right? This is where really accessing the quantum realm is focusing on that gap. It's focusing on the unknown and allowing yourself to lean into it, to the point where, you know, it's like you're focusing on that stillness, right? You're focusing on the portal that is creation itself. So the active portal is 999, and this is about distance from the space where we can find bodies, movement, and continuity. The place where all the matter is contained calls for some time off in order to make enough room. So there's something that you've been making room for, you know, that's what I'm seeing it. And this is within your mind, you know, it's all happening within, right? The first Hermetic principle is that the universe is mental. So let's see what this is. I'm going to take a look at how you're showing up right now. How are you showing up? Let's take a look at the Cosmos Oracle. We have multiverse, golden hour, and relativity. Yeah, it's like you're surfing through the illusion of time. Optical doubles. So optical doubles talks about something that feels like it's so close away, but in reality, it's actually really far. But then with wormhole, this leads to something that would have taken a long period of time speeds up exponentially for you. It leads to, again, like a great acceleration of events that wouldn't have been experienced otherwise. I'll go ahead and read Wormhole for you. It's like one of the last pages in the book. Okay, Wormhole talks about the unfolding of time. Entering a wormhole is a powerful shortcut. It is far quicker than the time it would take us to do something conventionally. The wormhole is a portal itself, and it's the only way to travel faster than the speed of light. Just like a board game where the dice can prompt us to move to a later square without needing to make all the steps, the wormhole changes the perception of time and leads us directly to the goal. Enjoy this shortcut as it can quickly bring a paradigm shift. And I said that this is a paradigm shift, right? It's almost like, I'm going to give you an example. I'm seeing someone, okay, you're picturing yourself at the beach, right? You're not at the beach, but you're taking yourself there. You're taking yourself there visually. You know, what does it feel like to have the sand on your feet? What does it feel like to be walking by the ocean? What does it feel like to be diving into the ocean and swimming? What does it feel like to be laying out in the sun? You know, it's like these sensory experiences where this is Neo in the Matrix, right? Your neocortex, your primary 5 antennas, your taste, your touch, your smell. It's like you're immersing yourself in a frame vibrationally, and your awareness is entered into that frame. It's actually synchronized with that frame that already exists, and it's simultaneously playing out. And now you've entangled quantumly with the fractal of yourself that is literally at the beach in the physical, right? So what I'm seeing is that you're gaining a glimpse into that outcome, and you may feel like, oh, I'm at work, I don't know when I'm going to have my holiday, I don't know when this or that is going to happen, but you're receiving like the first kind of step, right? It's like you're receiving the first step, which is maybe to start, I'm hearing entertaining where this would be, right? Start entertaining the location or the event and lean into that unknown gap, right? The gap is the magic that's waiting to unfold. And that's what I'm seeing for you. It's almost like, and the gap is you don't know how that's going to collapse into your reality. And that's where the beauty lies, because I'm seeing so like something that's just unexpected, something that you may not see coming because you're there. Not just, yeah, like daydreaming, right, is what I want to call it, but you're not just daydreaming. Again, this isn't just like a an idea. It's a divine download that you're receiving. You feel so drawn towards that beach or that location or that thing or that outcome because it already exists for you. It's already happening, and you're just tuning into that in the field, right? There's just something around that. So I'm going to take a look at that with optical doubles, but it's very, very interesting, right? It feels like it's so far away, but there's something around high vibrational state with 528 hertz, right? It talks about the love frequency and a gratitude portal, gratitude that you can take yourself there before the arrival in the physical. And it's more about when this thing arrives to you, there's an illusion of you moving towards this thing, but really you draw in the experience. Okay, we have 3. Bro. Wormhole, photon, and magnetic field. The same cards that we were talking about in the beginning. And then you have binary star. Binary star at the base is, again, this has always been transversing your path. It's like there is something in your orbit. It's like this thing orbits you and you find yourself in the field. Imagine like a quantum cinema, and inside of you is a projector. And in this energetic simulation, the beach comes to you. It's that kind of energy. There's an illusion of going somewhere and landing at a place and a reality. But really, this place lands at your doorstep. What happens? Okay, I'm going to try and explain it. Point A and point B, the office and the beach. What you're experiencing right now is that the person at the office may be vibrating in a, oscillating, in different kind of bandwidths of frequency light. And the emotions that they may be feeling is despair, or they're tired, or they're fed up, or sad, or maybe they're just like content. But there's almost like a place of acceptance for that and just enjoying that present moment. But then the person at the office that begins to daydream and see themselves at the beach, they begin to take themselves there. What are the feelings that you're feeling there? Peace, joy, satisfaction, harmony, being at one with nature, feeling grounded, right? It's like you begin to feel, person A begins to feel all of those emotions at location A. And what happens is that you begin to resonate so much with point B, right? Fractal of yourself B, to the point where this reality is something that kind of vibrates out of existence, and you begin to see a cohesion between realms. That's what I'm seeing. It's where the worlds begin to bleed into each other. It's where realities begin to mesh, and suddenly there is a trip that you've won. Suddenly there's just something around, and we have 1, 2, 3 on the clock right now on the microwave, and 1, 2, 3 talks about things falling into alignment, but it talks about a vision, right? And in 1, 2, 3 in the clock as well also talks about your path will not look identical to anyone else's, and that's what makes you unique. Remember this as you stay towards that path, and it continues to lead you into alignment. Let your vision be as different as you are. My path is mine and mine alone. When I follow the path, alignment comes naturally. So I just see this, I'm just giving you an example, right? But this could be anything that you're wanting to attain, anything that you're wanting to experience. But yeah, wormhole, a great acceleration of events. Magnetic field is like you are drawing this thing in towards you. That's what happens. Okay, so it's almost like you're witnessing a crumbling of a reality, right? Something kind of breaking down because it's not supporting the vibrational bandwidth that you're now operating under. It's like that, right? It's like, this is interesting. It's really interesting, right? Let's go ahead and get some messages for this. I'm going to pull some oracle messages and take a look at this more specifically. Oh, this is interesting. Let's get one more. I feel like you've moved through We have Journey there at the base. We have 3 that came out. Let me try and get one. One more. Okay, look at this, right? Anxiety. Anxiety talks about someone basically worried, right, in their head. However, this storm in the distance outside their window is beginning to clear, and it's bringing on the other side of it a rainbow, right? So this is a change in, I'm hearing scenery. It's also a change in what it is that you're experiencing right now. So what has been is not all that will be, and it's not all that has to be. Now, action talks about you doubling down on your efforts. So it's almost like the first step is maybe I need to, before this, I need to take on more shifts. There is more things I have to physically apply myself with. Maybe I need to start surfing through. Maybe I need to start surfing through online, right? I'll tell you what I used to do as a child. I used to spend hours on Google Maps looking at different cities, and I used to pretend I was walking the streets before I could ever travel. I used to pretend that I was there, immerse myself into the experience, and it was real to me. You know, I was literally moving through Google Maps in a way where I was entering that frame vibration-y. Every time I go somewhere, before I even go there, I start surfing through the web. I start looking through Airbnbs. I start looking through, different places, different sceneries, and I place myself in that frame vibration. I'm like, how would it be to be there? Let me take myself there, right? Leverage as a quantum being. That means that you utilize your quantum technology, your third eye, right, which is your vision, your imagination, and also your heart space, where you can tune into the frequency of that place and how it would feel, that event, that outcome. And action talks about you being willing to do the work and the first steps. You don't know when that's going to come to be. You don't know when that's going to come to pass or how it's going to come to pass, but you know where you want to go and why you want to go there. And that's exactly what you're being told to focus on. So energizing effort, willingness to work. This card tells you that now is the time for more aggressive forward movement. The galloping horses represent intentional and concerted action directly towards your goals. This card, upright, because again, it's the action that you take in the present moment alters the future timelines in which become accessible to you. Okay, they're always accessible to you, but you're consciously accessing a very particular continuum that you're moving your intention towards, because intention is kinetic energy when it is supported by action, and that creates velocity, it creates this momentum, and now you're sending momentum down that timeline, right? And those ripples that you're sending through that timeline based upon the action that you're taking now and the intention behind the action is something that you'll intersect with. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing it as. It's like, okay, before I can go to that place, I'm gonna have to double down on my shifts. Before I go to that place, I'm gonna have to focus on the next step. And there's something about that next step and doing that with that intention and that knowing of where you want to go and why you want to go there, and that being your anchor. You take grounded action where every action you do take has so much power in it. You know, that's what I'm seeing. It's like, in order for change to happen, we must first become conscious that we have a choice, right? It's like new selection of timelines become available to us when we realize that we have a choice to align with it. So the white horse is the inner action of spirit, and the thought is the black, right? This is about the outer work that still needs to be done. So continue taking action and trust your intuition. In time, you'll break through and see the results you've been working so hard to create. This is how I'm seeing it. It's literally like I'll plan out, for example, a whole itinerary for myself of places I want to go, the link for the place. I'm planning it as if, it's already happened. I'm planning it as if, this is my game plan so I can get from point A to point B. I'm working out the details and the specifics. I'm writing how long the drive is going to take between cities. I'm focusing on the coordinates of the places that I want to visit while I'm in that city. I'm getting all the details, gathering all the details before I even book the flight, before I even book the place, before I even am in the position to do that. So I'm just giving this as an example. There is something about something that you're doing, like something that you want to achieve, some kind of outcome. We'll go ahead and see as well. But this is action, right? It's like you have to take yourself, immerse yourself in that frame and align with it. The action that you take on a daily basis is supporting that goal. So let's see. Deep knowing. Deep knowing talks about something that you're already tuning into. You have unfinished symphony. So this is almost unfinished business, right? It's something that you are yet to experience in the physical. Higher power is, you really taking aligned action with the fact that you are infinite potential and you can collapse anything that you desire into this realm. Let's talk about 43, right? Intuition, listening to the oracle. Now, this talks about specifically in prosperity, this is a time where your hunches will pay large dividends if you listen to them. So, again, this is divinely inspired action. It says, take the risk and act. Within you, there is an ocular consciousness and a higher and deeper knowing that transcends the machinist of the smaller thinking mind. Quantum leaping is about becoming that version of self, right? It's about anchoring that wisdom and embodying it to the point where you are not separate. That is what healing is, right? We talk about healing, but to heal is to become whole. It's to integrate. It's to not be separate from the version of yourself that has already achieved it. It's almost like you're walking yourself back in a linear fashion to witness the becoming of an event that has already come to be for you. That's what it is. It's where you already become that version of self. That gut feeling is the memory, and what it is that you're experiencing in regards to the linear unfoldment of life circumstances is a memory unfolding before you. You've entered the event, but it's almost like your memory has been wiped in the how and the when so that you can experience the magic of the how and the when it happens. You just need to align with where you want to go and allow your why to be your anchor so that you can take grounded action towards it. It really is that simple. Any other belief systems that are disrupting you from seeing yourself as a creator in this existence, that's something that we're going to be removing away. So yeah, at a deep level of your intuitive senses, you have an access point to the genius of the collective, the energies of all thinkers, creators, all inventors and leaders. All you need to do in order to be successful is tune in. This is an act of listening intently. Past the busy mind, your genius awaits. And the busy mind is the one that wants to know all the answers, It's like spoiling your own surprise party. It's like, that's why I always refer it to. Spirit wants to excite you. It wants to surprise you. It wants to catch you off guard. And Unfinished Symphony is saying that, there is a certain melody, right? It really is you're tuning into a high octave as well. But it's an unfinished melody. It talks about something that you feel like is unfinished and a lack of closure. And maybe there's an incomplete lesson that you've been moving through. So this is about where it's time to tie loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project or mastery of a lesson or skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are. Practice radical acceptance, right? You need to radically accept where it is that you currently are, because that instantaneously neutralizes the energy. And as you surrender to the unknown, that becomes the very reason for your transformation. You disconnect with your higher self every time you fear the unknown. When you begin to make friends with it and lean into that, okay, maybe I don't know the answers. It reminds you of this doubt card that I have in the Soul's Journey. And it talks about how release the need to know all the answers, release the need to know the mysteries. Because there's something around when you lean into your life becoming a mystery even to you, it becomes a grand adventure. You don't embark on an adventure expecting to know everything that you're going to experience or the people that could collapse onto your path. No. Otherwise it wouldn't be an adventure, would it? And it's like you're being called to answer the soul's call for exploration. It's about exploring, and always coming back to that, childlike essence of it. So take inventory that emotional and psychological closure can occur, and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you're leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can end on a high note. And that's what I mean. It's almost like you're ending something on a high note. Maybe it's almost like, everything that's led me to this point, you're ending it on a high note because you are realizing and recognizing that you're changing your relationship to yourself in the present moment because you're changing the way that you relate to your past. There's something that's happened there. But in prosperity, this is about you completing a certain project, even if that's yourself. Tie up loose ends so that you can move forward on a prosperous path and feel refreshed and excited about the future. So any kind of task that you've been putting off, it's almost like you're being told to, what's the word, organize it. Like there's something that you need to organize. That's what it feels like. There's something that you need to organize. There's something that you need to strategize. There's something that you need to plan like it's already done. That's what I'm seeing it as. Like, and so it is. It is already done. Okay. Fast breath, beginner's mind. So not giving the old stories, mouth to mouth resuscitation. This is a DNR order because this is someone stepping into a complete new universe within themselves, and there are new planetary bodies that are orbiting you. Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. I love the drifter because it talks about focusing on the essence of what it is that you're seeking and not necessarily the form. Okay, and aligning with that essence and allowing the form to surprise you. Now, yeah, Will-O-the-Wisp, the base, treasures hidden in the shadow. This is basically something that has been calling you, and although you were curious in the past, maybe you didn't accept her invitation, but the time to dance has come back around again, and treasures are hidden in the shadows, right? They're saying that there's gold that awaits you in the unknown right now. 14. I love this card because it talks about exactly what you need to do. Focus on what lights you up. Experiencing life as it comes, seeking the essence, but not knowing the form. And it's less about the event and it's more about the sensation. It's more about that feeling and anchoring that into the now. Okay, let's just say you want to align with abundance. You want to align with money or the tangible things. You're being told not to necessarily focus on the tangible things, but how does it feel? Are you seeking freedom? Are you seeking, how can you begin to anchor that feeling into the body now? Are you seeking security and stability? How can you begin to anchor that into the now, right? Come back to that. You can feel the feeling of the future before it arrives. And the paradox is that when you feel the feeling of the future before it arrives so much quicker. That's when the quantum leap happens. So, because you've bypassed time, right? You've bypassed the illusion of separation, the distance between those two events, and your consciousness has traveled into that event. It's traveled into a new time. Time and thought, the secret of lucid, conscious time travel is the mind. Thought and time, they're the same harmonic resonance. They're the same sixth sense. That's what it is. I'm going to tell you to think about what you did yesterday. Alright, you just travel there with the mind. Okay, think about anything in the future. Any kind of event. It's up to you what vibration or alignment that is. Or you've just time traveled to the future. So there is something around you time traveling here, okay? So the drifter invites you to step out of the to-do list, your ordinary routine, and feel the breeze against your skin, calling you to follow the wind and explore life's opportunities, right? Explore is like the key word that's been coming up. When the drifter appears, it's a sign to cut the mooring lines holding you to the dock. It's not important to know the destination before you set sail. You don't even know. I'm seeing someone at the office, right, and they end up like applying for another job. And they don't realize that the job is somewhere, I don't know, like in a totally different location. And it just happens that it's like right by the corner of this new workplace that they go to. And that's the version of themselves that they're tuning into that's sitting on the beach. It's like, it's just there's something around that for you. You don't know how it's going to happen. Maybe they win the trip. Maybe there's a bonus that happens in that workplace. And it affords them that vacation. It's just like there's myriad ways that can happen. Do not wait for the map, as there is none where you're destined to go. But be sure that you do have a compass to keep you true. Yours is your pure love and your intention to be free, even of your own beliefs and preconceptions. So the belief is the only thing that will, tie you, bound you. Few appreciate the energy of the drifter. If you believe there's nothing more, that's exactly what you'll experience. Life is just as fluid and abundant as you are. If you're static and rigid, right, what caused stagnancy? Or the illusion of stagnancy? Thoughts that don't change, feelings that don't change. It's just that simple. If you don't change, things don't change. when you keep reinforcing the same thought, you're going against the natural ebb and flow, the natural releasing and receiving of this universe. And there's something about, again, you making room. It's like allowing the pendulum to swing. That's what it is. Getting distance between you and the event and focusing on what is the secret of that? What is the mystery of that? You know, it's someone taking a different route home one day from work, switching up the algorithm and the way that they do things, the way that they think. Maybe there's going to be something for me on that path. That's where the magic happens. You know, it's every time where even if I had a rigid itinerary or structure, I never stick to it. It gives me a baseline to follow, right? But then I'll get an idea one day of, oh, I know I need to go here. I don't know why I need to go here. There's someone that I'm going to meet in the process. There's something that's going to happen. There's something that I'm going to find. This is like the universe inviting you on a side quest. And this is what Neptune energy with the North Node and Jupiter energy in the North Node with the North Node and Pisces right now is doing. The universe is inviting you on a side quest. And in that side quest, what happens during it? Well, you end up obtaining a piece of information. You end up meeting another character. You end up storing something in your inventory. You know, you end up finding something, discovering something. And, you know, Treasures Hidden in the Shadow is saying that there are things to discover as you dance to this new rhythm of life. So that person that takes a different route home, that person that kind of follows their intuition and where it's leading them, even though they don't know what it is that they're going to align with, that's where the pleasant surprises happen, you know? So this talks about, but you are the only one who understands that others are running full out on a hamster wheel and getting nowhere. Few appreciate the energy of the drifter. Here you maybe seem to you not doing anything worthwhile or meeting anyone else's expectations. Your laziness is an underappreciated virtue. You know that life will find you and bring you everything you require without you having to search for it by simply being instead of frantic doing, right? Even when you do take action, allow it to be aligned. You know, again, your intention is going to be your anchor as you move through this realm. Even as you let your mind wander, releasing it to go as on a daily walkabout, call it back home regularly to deliver news from the cosmos. The drifter helps you find what you were looking for, even when you didn't think you were searching for anything at all. So this is something that you're not even necessarily expecting. You know, this is saying that there's like a bonus coming with this saying. This is you having what it is that you want, but also a plot twist. You know, this is like a twist of events that happens, you know. You may think that you're just going to a location, but you end up meeting someone, you know. You may think that you're just going to this place, but you end up finding something beautiful. You may think that, you know, it can be anything, but there's a side quest that you're being invited on, that you're being summoned on. And it leads to something breathtaking is what I'm hearing. Like, you're going to be in awe with this. But the first breath in beginner's mind is about you seeing the world through the eyes of the soul and being excited about the possibilities that await you. That's what you're being called to do. How can you get excited about the unknown? You know, how can you lean into it and change your relationship with it? So yes, I'm going to love and leave you guys right there. I'm not even going to touch on this anymore. I think that's exactly what needed to be said for today. And I'll speak to you very soon, okay? Where are you guys taking yourself quantumly before the arrival on the physical? Let me know. So until next time, if you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Altered Spirit if you guys are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. We have 𝓤𝓪𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬 on today. 𝓤𝓪𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬𝓮. I can't even say it right now, but it's a confidence stone. Moonstone as well. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards otter sanctuaries. You have the otter symbol there. And yeah, so